Hi everybody, it's Josh. How are you? I have watched another movie. I have been to the cinema and I watched The Amateur. This is a film based on a novel by Littell. Richard Littell, is that the name of the author? It's been adapted before. I know nothing about the previous film version, but I know this version has been bouncing around for a while, with Hugh Jackman attached for a while, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you know what it's about, and when you see the fact that Rami Malek ended up starring in this movie. So very interested to know what the take was for that version of this movie. But it's basically about a nerdy, computer-y guy and a decrypting kind of a guy at the CIA who finds himself embroiled in the field when his wife, spoiler alert, but it's in the trailer, is killed by terrorists, operatives, dark agents, bad guys. And he has reason to suspect all sorts of foul play and interesting things going on. And so he takes it upon himself. He initially asks his handlers in the CIA to give him training and permission to go into the field, and they laugh at him. And he eventually strikes a kind of a weird deal with them, and then begins to go rogue and take it upon himself to go and find the people who did this. And so it's on the one hand, it's a very typical kind of a premise of kind of like a guy who is thrust into the world of spies and intrigue and has no choice but to kill everyone. But I guess the twist here is he's not a John Wick, he's not a Jason Bourne. John Wick being the ultimate assassin in the universe, and Jason Bourne slowly rediscovering these innate, forgotten skills he has. This is just a guy. This is just a computer guy, a spindly, wiry little nerd guy. They call him a nerd 1,000 times in this movie. And he uses his wits and his knowledge of science and computers and all that kind of stuff. And also, more importantly, his insider knowledge of the systems of the CIA, which he has helped to build and fortify. He goes and he has this kind of bittersweet, adventure. It's not an adventure. He's trying to kill people, killed his wife. It's sad. And so what do I think about this movie? That's a very long description of the plot, probably longer than I needed to indulge. But this movie's pretty good. This movie is like a good dad movie. This is a good spy movie. I think it's a little better than most, not quite great. And what I mean is, this movie is nice and slow without being boring. It takes its time. It lets the character kind of experience his grief, and you spend a good deal of time with him, just going to therapy and things like that before he becomes an adventurer. At the same time, I would say it does also kind of gloss over certain things. It's one of his character traits in the beginning of the movie is that he's afraid to travel. He's kind of nervous and anxious and doesn't like to travel. And there is no scene where he gets over that. He's just suddenly in Prague and Russia or wherever the story needs him to be. So just gets over that fairly quickly. But it does take time with his relationship with his wife. Rachel Brosnahan plays her at the beginning of the film. There's kind of a game. I have a coworker that I talk to about movies, and we see a lot of trailers, and we saw this trailer and we were trying to guess who the bad guys were based on just the trailer, because this is a trailer that gives you every beat of the setup of the movie. And quite often that means that you've seen it all already and you can call it, and things are pretty formulaic. This movie's not like next level, but I will say there's a few things I didn't see coming. There's a few things that don't play out the way you think they will based on the trailer. And there's also just information regarding who's good and who's bad and who's behind what that it's actually revealed pretty early in the movie. So there's not really a whodunit aspect to the story. It's really more of a personal journey of this character. So again, this isn't like one of the best movies of the year. This is not next level. It's from a director whose name I don't remember, but who has directed a lot of TV, some Black Mirror and Doctor Who. Also made that movie One Life with Anthony Hopkins last year, which is an interesting, pairing with this. But anyway, yeah, it's solid. It's a good dad movie. It's a good spy movie. Again, I don't know what the Hugh Jackman version of this was going to be. He is, I wouldn't believe him as someone who couldn't defend himself or carry out, brutal acts in the field. He's very much like a James Bond type of heroic guy. So I don't know how they would have played that if they would have just asked us to go along. You do buy that Rami Malek is kind of underleveled for this kind of work. And he's very lucky. He has a few scenes where he just like really lucks out in a few ways, which I thought was kind of funny. It was not played for laughs. But overall, this movie is pretty darn good. Lawrence Fishburne is one of the other names in the movie. He plays like the kind of trainer, mentor kind of figure to a lot of these like murdering assassins movies. And here's another one for him, I guess. And I won't spoil where that goes. It maybe teases a new direction, but does it ultimately go in that direction? You got to see for yourself. So this is more than a mild recommendation, but I'm not effusive in my praise of this movie. The Amateur is pretty good. It's pretty solid. And you know what? We don't get a lot of solid movies. We're a little spoiled right now because we got Black Bag last month, and that's a full-on great movie. And a grown-up kind of spy movie. And that's not what this is. This is a little bit higher rent, a little bit above. Yeah, it's not like a full-on like Jason Statham action movie. It's not even a John Wick clone. It's not going for that. It's kind of in the spirit of Bourne. It's at that kind of level of trying to be just realistic enough and just respect your intelligence enough, but then give you lots of action sequences to keep you interested. So that's the Amateur. From one amateur to another. This movie was fun. So that's about it. I will be back soon. You guys are going to get a new short very soon, and then another new short, and I will continue to see movies and do other things too. So if you want to join us over on Patreon to help support these videos, that would be cool. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again next time. Josh out.